Most of you either gotten an email from me or have spoken to me on the phone. If not, you certainly will soon. And this is my partner.
Hi, I'm Joey, and I also work here at Fitness Finders and specifically with EasyScan as well, so you'll probably work with me too.
And of course, today we want to tell you all about EasyScan and getting it started and set up and what have you. Fitness Finders has been doing this for over 40 years. Actually, our founders started the original Mileage Club back in the late 60s. And then in mid 80s, Fitness Finders started using the Mileage Club program more and more with tokens to motivate kids, and actually start out using beans of all things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one of the things about getting all your laps counted up has been, it's always been kind of difficult. You know, you use punch cards. I used punch cards at the elementary school I was at, which was a pain. Some people use popsicle sticks. It's about 4 years ago now, we came up with EasyScan, which of course we think is the best lap tracking app on the market. It consists of two parts. We'll get into those in a little bit. But EasyScan will save you time and money by doing everything at just the press of a button. Last year we had over 5 million miles logged using EasyScan, and this year we are on track to do 7 million miles. Okay?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot for those kids to do, but they do it. Thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started and we'll walk you through getting everything set up. First thing I will say before I turn everything over to Joey is that you're going to want to use Google Chrome as your browser. Okay, right. That's the best one to use for our program. So get into Google Chrome and go from there, and you're going to go into easymilegeclub.com. All right, take it from there.
All right, so we'll go ahead and share our screen with you. That way you can see what we're seeing. All right, so the first thing that you will get is going to be your activation code. So you'll open up your email here. You're going to see there's some attachments down here that will give you some helpful walkthrough sort of information. You've got your code here and the link. So just go ahead and click on the link. I'll get you to the spot and copy your activation code. Oops. You don't want that period on the end. Take that out and just go ahead and set your password and go ahead and hit activate. And there you go.
You're in and running. The first page you'll see is that school info page. Go ahead and fill that out. School name, your address, blah, blah, blah. The number of enrolled students. That's kind of optional right now. It's good to have it eventually. What that does is it allows you to see percentages of how many kids are actually in your school and participating. So, you know, if you have 100 students and you only have 50 in there, you know, you got 50%. But if you got 1,200 and you have 917, it'll work that for you. So when you get an accurate number, you can go ahead and put that in if you want. You don't have to if you don't want those kind of percentages. Default unit here in the United States, we are in Michigan. We use miles, but Canada and elsewhere, you can use kilometers.
All right.
Okay.
I'll just
go ahead and fill that stuff out.
Filler here. So let's do 100 for now. Something like we said, if it's wrong, we'll come back and fix it.
Yep. All right, next you're into your program. Program is what we call a
period of time.
Yeah, period of time, sorry.
You're fine.
It's Wednesday. You know, so for example, say you have a morning Mile Club and an afternoon after school program and Girls on the Run and PE class. You can put a program in for each one of those. There are unlimited programs in EasyScan, so you can have a program for everything that you are running. All right? So let's put one in here and see how it works.
All right. So you could have it lower elementary program, or it could be upper, it could be your PE class. Let's stick with that one. For the start date, I do suggest putting it the day before today's date. So for today, I'm going to put it as the 14th. And then for the end date, You do want to stretch it out quite a bit after what you think you would actually end on. That's just going to put it within an active range of dates and give you some buffer, just to avoid any potential problems moving forward. Like we said, you can do multiple programs. So that was my PE class. Well, now I've got, or my PE groups, that now I would have my after school groups. Same thing, and I can leave those dates. And there we go. So now I've got PE classes, and I can save that, make a change there. And I've got my after school program, and I can toggle between the two up here.
Yep. You see that little teal box up there? That's where you choose which one you are which program you're actually using. All right, that's how simple it is what that is. Let's move on, hit the next button, and go to courses. Now, wait a minute. What happens if you forgot to do something? See the previous button? You can always click that, go back to wherever you need to, add, then hit the next. Another neat thing is, see where it says courses at the top there, and there's that question mark? Anytime you see a question mark throughout the whole program, you can click on it, and it's going to take you to an FAQ page that will walk you through all that stuff. And there's often videos on there, and you can go through and get any help you need, okay?
Yeah, and then along with our help on those question marks, you can also access this chat function down here. You could type right into it and ask your question. That'll go right to our live chat. Or you can click down here, FAQ, search through it here, or use the search up here. Let's say you had a question about what devices work with EasyScan, you would be able to find all that right there.
Yep, up it comes. Now, when you purchase a year-long subscription, all your support is completely free throughout the year. You never pay for support with us, okay? And support is available live Monday through Friday between 8 and 5 Eastern time. We're in Michigan again, so 8 to 5 Eastern time. That FAQ is there, of course, 24/7. Use it whenever you need to. The other cool thing is, with your subscription, all your updates, if a new version comes out, all that is free for the course of the year that you have your subscription. All right, so let's get back on courses. Courses are like the tracks that kids run on. You know, it can be outside, inside, wherever. But again, click on it, add what you want. So Joey's going to add an inside gym.
And we'll say that one, it's 10 laps to make a mile there.
If you don't know for sure, you can always make an educated guess and go back later.
This could be the ball field track.
Let's take a look at that scan delay before we go too much further, because this will be important later. What a scan delay is it allows you to set the time that the kids can actually scan their card. So for example, if Joey was going to scan his card and he scanned it and went, oh, I'm going to scan again. I'm going to scan again. I'm going to scan again. It's not going to let him do that, because you can set a time period that he'll only be able to scan in. And of course, the next kid can come up and he can scan too, but he can't stand there and scan and run their miles up. It's just, it makes it so they have to move away, have to go around that track before they can scan again.
Right.
Okay. And there we go. We've got those two in. Right. And we can hit the next button, go to our classes and students.
All right, so this is where you're gonna actually put your student names in. So you go ahead, create an add class. You can name the class. This one we'll do Mrs. Powers. The teacher, I'll do none for now. And for the grade, I'll put first grade and hit create class. Now you're gonna notice that there's an arrow next to the name. Go ahead and hit that. It'll drop down and you can see copy paste students. I've got a roster made up here. So here's Mrs. Powers. And I can go and select, copy, paste that in, hit next, and there they are. Boom, all the names that I just pasted in. For the gender here, you do not have to assign a gender to each one of them. It's totally optional. You don't have to click through them all. And once you're done with that, hit add students. And there you go.
Simple as that. It's just copy and paste.
And you can see that was in my after school program. Let's say I needed to add one to the PE class. And let's see who we've got next. We've got Mr. Smith. We'll do none. Give him first grade. create class, copy paste students. And now Mr. Smith has a class in the PE classes program.
But you know what? We want to add one student to Mr. Smith's class. How do we do that?
So you'll go down, click on the class again, and instead of hitting copy paste students, hit create student. And now you can type right in there.
Very simple.
And there you go. Toggle back after school, and I've got Mrs. Powers there again instead.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's their basic setup right there. And you can go ahead and hit next. I'll get you to the terms of service. Once you've had a chance to look through that and agree, you can continue. And there you go. That's the basic setup all done right there.
There you are. Okay, look up at the very top where we've been working. You see the after school program is up there. That's where you choose your program. And next is the class sheet, which is what we're looking at. You see all your classes there. Let's go over to Edit My School before we check anything else out though. Click on that and you see you've got a bunch of tabs right there. Edit School is where you can go to actually change your school information. Awards. Now, of course, you know by now that we're really big on awards. Our whole program is founded by a couple of professors who worked on what's called the theory of the token economy. And what that is, yeah, I know you didn't expect a class today, but what the token of the theory of the token economy is that it states that people will work just as hard for a token that they can show off as they will for a paycheck. And this works fantastic with kids. You know that you give them gold stars, you give them grades, you give them praise, and they work harder. With any program like Mileage Club, if you give them a reward, they will work harder for you and be more involved. So we recommend that you have awards for those kids. Whether you use our awards, of course, we're big on our tokens, or not, we'd love you to use them, but if you don't, you have to come up with some sort of reward for those kids so that they keep involved with you and keep moving for you. Okay?
Something to aim for.
Yeah. Now let's take a look at this again and we'll show you how to add awards.
All right, so I'll go ahead and add award. And as you can see, I've done this before. I'll do blue toe token.
Sounds good.
Oh, I'll just type it in there. I think my autofill is off. So there we go, blue toe token. We can do high five award. And do you want to do a certificate in there?
Sure.
And we'll put a certificate on there and just hit save. These are just the names of your awards that you want to give them. If you want to do, you could do that as well. 5 minutes of extra recess, that's a pretty good award.
Yeah.
So now you'll go to award levels to apply those to their goals. So go ahead and select the distance to achieve. So we'll start 1 mile. And let's start with the blue toe token. We'll start off with the big award. Next one, we'll just go ahead and stagger it. And we'll do high five award. Save changes, add another one. 5 mile mark. And for 5 miles, we'll give 5 minutes of extra recess. And lastly, we'll have them stretch a little bit and they'll get their certificate then. With the certificates, you'll see there's actually a button here for certificates. With your subscription, you have access to print black and white certificates, unlimited amount of times that you want. Or if you go ahead and purchase our color certificates, they integrate with this program. You can just put them into your printer tray and print with those. Let's go ahead and select the black and white for now. And there you go. So now I've got 1, 3, 5, 10 miles for them to aim for and an award that coordinates with each of those award levels.
And again, all the certificates, the black and white certificates, you can print as many of those as you like. You don't get charged for the black and white ones. And you put the kid's name on it and how many miles they ran. It'll print that out for you. Kids love to get those, obviously.
And where are you going to see this? So you might be asking, well, if you go to the class sheet, go to awards, you can see 1, 3, 5, 10 that we just set up. And once they've earned them, you'll get some filling in there. But just to show you where those went off to.
Yeah. Classes, again, this is where you're going to add more classes because we only added a couple of them. So you can add more classes the same way we did before, just paste and cut and paste them right in there.
Yeah.
Okay? Courses, again, these are the courses we had. You can add more in there,
Edit.
whatever you want.
To.
Edit, yep, do all your editing. Devices, here we go. This is the important part. Just one quick little thing. When you add your device, you know, once your device has the app part of EasyScan on it, you're going to want to name your device. There's a place in the setup instructions on the device. We'll show you this in a little bit, but put your name in there. Put a name in there for the device. Say Scott's iPad, Joey's iPhone. Put something like that in, because otherwise all you're going to get is the serial number. And I don't know about you, but I don't remember the serial number of any of my stuff. And it's easier to know that, okay, Scott's iPad was not synced. Okay?
Yeah.
There you go.
So nothing will come up here until you do sync.
Right.
We'll show you that in a bit.
Programs, of course, you know, we talked about programs where you can add and archive and do all kinds of stuff there. QR codes. Here's the fun stuff.
So just make sure you're selecting the program that you want to print. Go ahead and click QR codes, and then follow the prompts. Our most popular is the business card size. You can select all students. I'll go ahead and do that. You can choose your labeling option. So I'll just put the school name on there on these. Download all students. Hit download PDF. And I'll just show you what it would look like. And there you go. So you could print these out, laminate them, and give them to the kids, and away they go.
Now, with our program, you can download and print as many cards by yourself as you want. There's no limit to it. We don't have to print them for you. You print them, laminate them. We do recommend that you put them on white paper. That white paper works best. If not, use a light colored paper so that there's a good contrast between the black ink and the background so that the camera can read it. But again, you don't have to pay for the cards. You can print as many as you want. Now, we do offer hard cards that we do sell, and we'll show you those later on, but you don't have to buy those. You can print them yourself. So for example, Joey is walking around the track and he loses his. You could print out a new one for him. I tend to eat mine, you know, so Joey prints me out a new card every time we have to do that. But yeah, it's really easy to replace them. Okay, let's go on to teams.
All right, so here we are at teams, and this is just so you can segment groups of students to run a report by that group of students specifically. You do not have to do this if you don't need it, but just in case, we'll show you how real quick. So you can do team 1, teacher, you can select anything, just like you did on the classes. Use that drop down. Now add students. Now you can select the class that it's pulling from. Of course, we just have the one set up. Just go ahead and click here, and you can move them over, and there you go. You could toggle between classes, go to the next class, add more students in, but that's the general idea there. And save it, and now you've got a team. And where does that go? So you go class sheet, team, and now I've got just those students that I can view. All right, last one before we get to the iPad. I'll show you the syncing next and the scanning and all that. So this is the users tab. We've just got ourselves in there now. You can hit new user, and I could add Scott on there. And I can give them a level of access. If you want to go ahead and let them know about the level of access.
Full access is what you're going to be as the admin. You can do everything and anything in this program. You only want to give that to people you really trust. You may not want to give it to anybody but yourself. Other levels are the scan, view, and edit. And what that does is, say you have a teacher who says, you know, I want to work with my class. You can give them that, and then they can scan and view, and they can only edit their own class. It won't let them go in any other class, just their very own. Scan and view is just that. They can scan and they can look at stuff. And of course, the scan only is a good one for giving to, say, parent volunteers who, you know, you really don't want them looking at the other kids' stuff and what have you, maybe for privacy issues or what have you. And all they can do is they can scan. It allows them to scan whoever they're going to do. And that's what we call a shared user account. It's one account that you can give out to multiple people. They just get a fake email that's, you see it, that's in there, and you add your own password, whatever you want it to be. Then you can give it to your parent volunteers, and you don't have to worry about them getting into the program at all. That's another safety thing I want to tell you about. If somebody loses their card, yes, you'll have their name on it, but it's just like a paper that, you know, their assignment, if they lose their homework and it's got their name on it, that's the thing. If you have a QR code reader on your phone or device or something, and you find one of these cards, you say, hey, I'm going to check this out, and you scan it without having that, without having Easy Scan set up on your phone, all you're going to get is a random series of letters and numbers. There's no personal information stored on these cards. It is set up. We have either met or exceeded every privacy program that has ever been presented to us, and this is a part of it. You don't have to worry about your kids' info being stolen or being available to anybody other than yourself.
Right.
Not even their parents can get into it.
Right.
Okay.
And now you're probably thinking, okay, I added this person. How in the world do they get logged in now?
Yeah.
So click this black envelope, and that's going to send them a password link so they can set up their own password. And then you're like, okay, now how are they assigned to that class? Well, you can go back to classes once you've added the user in. And let's say, Mr. Smith, I need to edit that and actually assign that to Scott now that I've added him as a user. Save that, and now when he logged in, he would be able to scan, view, and edit this class.
There we go. Yeah.
All right, so we went through the basic setup steps, we went through Edit My School, and now we want to show you what it looks like full picture with scanning and everything.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and get that up.
Okay, let me get this going.
Let's share our iPad here.
Okay, here we are. This is the Easy Scan 2 app. Remember at the beginning I told you there are two parts of the Easy Scan program. One is the Easy Tally online database, and the other is the Easy Scan 2 app. You'll be able to download this from the Google Play Store or the Apple
App Store.
App Store. Yeah, I blanked on that. And yes, it is called Easy Scan 2. That is something that came up from Apple. We're sorry about that, but Easy Scan 2, you'll know that it's ours when you get it. Now look, here it is. First thing you want to do whenever you open this up, sync now. That blue button is very important. Whenever you make a change in your database in Easy Tally, you're going to want to sync your devices. It'll pull that information out of Easy Tally and into your device. Conversely, when you're all done with your session and you get to where there's Wi-Fi, you're going to want to sync again, because it'll take all the stuff that's been scanned, all the laps and everything, and information that's been scanned, and put it into Easy Tally for you. And remember, you don't need Wi-Fi to scan. We set it up that way on purpose because most schools don't have Wi-Fi out on their tracks. If you do, that's great. You're very unusual, but use it, and there it is. So remember to sync. Now, settings is something we talked about earlier too. Settings, this is where you're going to set up your iPad, your iPhone, your Android device. You can manage installed themes, all the different themes that we have, Pirate, Coach, etc.
Or no.
Download you want, or you don't have to have any if you don't want. Your camera, you can set it front or back. Here's the device name I was talking about. Orientation, up, down, sideways, however you want it. And of course, program, you can set it to a single program if you already have one. Okay. Go back to home. Here we are. We're going to start our first session. Hit start session. We're going to use fall 2018. Continue. We're going to run on the Indy track today. Start scanning, and there it is.
All right.
Let's grab a few cards here. The kids are going to run by. They're going to scan.
And this is not the program we just set up. Also, we should know.
Keep going,
This is an existing
you'll
one
be
that we
feeding the
built out for
fishes.
this example.
Yeah. And there you can see how
One.
quickly it'll do it.
Keep it up, me hearty.
And there's the pilot,
One.
of course.
You're look. One. Nope. One.
See, it's
One.
very quick.
Bloom. Two.
Now, we actually have
One.
this. We
Keep
actually have it
going.
set up so that
feeding the fishes.
it'll scan really quick. Well, let's try that one more time just to see if I can get it to stop.
3. You're one fast landlubber.
That's not letting me scan. See that? Because I just scanned there. Okay.
All
Now
right.
we do.
4.
I think we have the delay set to like a few seconds
Or
on
you'll
this
be
one.
Set it 3 or 4 seconds.
No horns.
But you can see there, I even held that one upside down and
Keep
it still
walking the
read it.
track,
Do
or
it
you'll
sideways,
be
and it'll
one.
read it for you.
You're one fast landlubber.
Okay, so you
All
can see the laps column here. That is the laps that they've achieved just this day. The distance to the right, that would be their total accumulated distance there.
Now, do remember on these laps this day, if you have more than one device out there, since it doesn't use Wi-Fi in the field, they're not going to communicate. So if they use one iPad and then go to your Android device or something, the laps for that day are not going to line up. But as soon as you get back to where you can use Wi-Fi and sync, it'll combine everything. All that information will be correct. So, you don't have to have them using the same device every time they go around. They're going to want to if they want to get an accurate lap count at that point in time. But otherwise, you don't really have to. All that information will not only sync, but it will combine.
Yeah.
All right, so let's stop scanning. We're going to sync one more time.
Just like we said. And while that's syncing, I'm going to go and we're going to share my screen again.
Yep.
And like Scott was saying, let's say I have my my phone that I'm scanning with. He has his iPad. We're done. I sync mine. He can sync his. And then once they're all synced and done, all the data will go right to the computer. And yes, you can use as many devices as you need to.
Yep.
There's no limit on the amount of devices that you can have going at once. Really, the only limit is the number of students that you can have in there. So as long as you don't exceed that, you'll be good to go.
All right, so let's take a look at what happens once everything's all scanned. So let's go in and call up our class that we had. We're on fall 2018.
We've got the superheroes.
See, it's all done there. Let's see. Let's go to, I know we did Batman today, and
Okay, and you can sort them alphabetical. I'll go ahead and do that.
let's see what Batman did. Oh, look at right there, January 15th. He ran a whole bunch of times.
Done.
Guy's crazy for running. Always earning toe tokens.
Got another one, January 15th. So you can see, yep, they've synced. Well, what do I do? What about the ones that didn't participate? We'll just go ahead and click participation, and you'll see a little toe token icon next to the names that did participate. And that's a helpful tool. It'll total it all up there for you, days of the week and everything. Now, awards.
And we had talked about this earlier. Here are the awards and how it shows who's earned what. Now, obviously, we've done this before. There are other numbers in it, so there's stuff in, but you can see how it comes out. You can click on an individual students awards to see what they've got.
I'll go ahead and just view the full list. You've marked, if you've given them the award, go ahead and mark it off. And now you know that they got both of their 1 mile awards. When they say, hey, I didn't get that, and you say, well, my record says I did. So we went through those. You can also print off your awards list. So I can do just for this class, or I can do the whole school. And once you go ahead and you do, this is going to be very long, download. Now let's go ahead and cancel out because I don't really want it to have to make you wait. Let me go back to this one. Here we go. So now I've got my list here with all the awards under each student. And then once I exit out of this, you'll see, do you want to mark off all awards of being presented to the students of this class? You can hit OK, and it'll mark off your awards for you, and you'll be all set. All right.
Okay. So the final thing to look at is going to be the stats tab. Right up the top where it says stats, look at that. We've got a number of different things under there that you're going to want to know.
Yep, you can click into each of these. Let's see all the different graphs and everything. One key one is the leaderboard here. A lot of schools use these on their bulletin boards in their school. just print it out and post it up there to show the students where they're at. The other one that you're going to want to go to is view reports. This is going to be very important. And you'll be able to run reports, and these are going to be in PDFs for you. You can break it down, class, grade, team, select the date. You can do a time report, participation, average, progress, laps. Or, as we just released just this week, we've got them in spreadsheets again. And we can do this school. Let's just do today, just to show you. I'll hit get spreadsheet. Oh, I forgot, we don't have Excel on this one. So let me come back here. It would pull up an Excel or whatever CSV reader you have on your computer.
So you can use that and manipulate that data however you want.
Yeah.
This part of the stats is really important for showing your principal, your superintendent, whoever your supervisors are, your parents. You can show them, look, this is what Joey has done this time and this year. This is how he's improved. Or in Scott's case, you know, Scott was pretty steady and didn't improve. Yeah.
But you can see this is the report that we ran just from that session we just did. We had 14 laps come in. Here's the course name that they were on, the class name that they were on. You saw I clicked the wrong class at first. I had small class, and it says, hey, no data because we didn't scan for that class.
Mm-hmm.
Totals it all up there, and there you go.
All right, so that is Easy Scan in a nutshell. It's a whole lot of information to throw at you at once. We understand that. However, it's actually pretty simple to follow along with that. Once you get in there and start playing with it, you're going to find out that it really is easy. That's why we named it that. And if you do have trouble, remember, you've got lots of support. So let's go ahead and answer some questions. There's a couple of them up there. 1,500 students. The question is, how many students can you have in the program? You can have up to 1,500 students per copy of Easy Scan. And to go along with that, as far as users, people who are scanning, that's unlimited, just like the programs, just like the courses. Those are unlimited. You can have, if you've got 500 parents show up that want to scan for you, and you can handle all that, it'll handle 500 parents, but up to 1,500 students per group.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one? Yeah, we do sell tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get a hold of me. I'll get you. If you don't have a catalog, I'll be happy to give you one. And we do have, you know, everything's online that we sell.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Thank you very much. Discounts. Well, funny you should ask. If you contact me, like I said, you can call me, you can email me, scott@fitnessfinders.net, 800-789-9255. I would be more than happy to talk discount with you. We can do that for first-time users. If you are in a school system and you want multiple copies, we do have multiple copy discounts. But as of right now, January through January 31st, I do have a discount to give to users who ask me. So please contact me. I'm more than willing to work with you. Any other questions?
All right.
Looks like that answered them all. That was great. Thank you for taking part in this today. Again, I'm Scott.
I'm Joey.
And thanks for being here. You guys have a great afternoon, okay? And we'll look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.